Well, good day guys, welcome back to the Boomerang Biker channel. Exciting day today. We're heading off to do a 3-day tour of the Great Alpine Road. So we're starting from our base in Whittlesea. We're going to head over through Christmas Hills, through Healesville, down through Yarra Glen, and on through to Noojee. We'll stop and look at the Noojee Railway Trestle Bridge before we end up at Bruthen, where we're going to camp for the night. So if you're stuck at home, maybe you're in lockdown and you want to ride along, that'd be great. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up, like and subscribe, and stay along for the trip. Have a great day.
Well guys, what a magnificent day it's turned into. So I dropped down from my place near Whittlesea and picked up Peter along the way. We cut through the back way, through Kangaroo Ground, and over into Yarra Glen. From Yarra Glen we went over into Healesville, and then from Healesville we headed over to a launching place. So we're now on our way to the next sort of stop is Noojee. We're going to stop on the way and look at the Noojee Railway Trestle Bridge, which is a very old timber bridge. It's quite common here in Australia. I don't believe there's any trains go over it anymore, but it's still there and it's looked after by the local government, I believe. So a fantastic day, as you can see. Day one of our trip to the Great Alpine region. We're at low level today and we've got fantastic weather, fantastic scenery through the gum trees. You might have spotted that I've moved the camera. I'll just give a wave. So the camera's up on this side again. I did on my last video move it down to the chin part down here, but I actually found that the footage was mainly through the windshield there, and I didn't really like it. And also the weight of the camera on the front chin piece actually dragged the helmet over and to the right, which I really didn't like. So I managed to find another piece of linkage that brought the camera around a little bit further, so you don't quite see as much of this side of the helmet, and hopefully it'll give you a bit more of a panoramic view. But we'll see when we look at the footage and we start to edit things. The other thing I've done today, I don't have the rear facing GoPro or the knockoff GoPro, the Kaiser cam. That's actually broken. It's died on me. I can't get it to charge up, and I didn't have time to find another. But what we have done, and I don't have it mounted yet, there's a little mount down here if you can see it. A very good friend of mine, Julio, has lent me an Insta 360 degree camera. So you put the camera on, and as you're riding along it takes footage in a 360 degree view, and from that you can decide on what angle you want to look at. So you can either run that independently and view the video and sort of swipe around in the video and get the angle that you want, or what I can actually do is pick some good angles from that, edit it, and then when I do the final cut of this, I normally have that rear facing down in the bottom right hand side. That's where I'm hoping we'll get the 360 view. I've never used it before. I've got it in the old top box there, and we'll give it a crack a little bit later. So as I said, we're in an area that's very scenic. It's quite rural. We're a couple of hours out of Melbourne, and it's a beautiful place to live, actually, I'm sure. So if you're overseas, maybe if you're in the UK, where a lot of my friends and family are, I'm on a few different Facebook groups there for adventure riding. If you are stuck inside on lockdown, I am, you know, sparing a thought for you guys doing it tough. Hopefully this will be a good release, and one of the good things is that for the UK, you're heading into summer, so you're going to get released out of prison at the good time. So, but for now, hopefully this will give you a little bit of an escape. Again, I would say, or should I say, I would ask you very, very kindly, the channel is growing. I'm getting more and more hits and more subscribers. If you do like the video or the videos that I put up there, please do hit the thumbs up button, do subscribe, hit that little bell, and you'll get a notification of any new videos. And if you've got any suggestions, please keep them kind. Drop them in the comment section below the video, and we'll have a little chat on there. So please do stick around and stay with us for the ride. So we've just passed through the sleepy little town, a very small town of Powerley, and heading into a sort of a, thank you very much sir for pulling over, into a tree lined area. It's a little bit like the Black Spur through here. It's magnificent. It's not a fast road. It certainly isn't on a GS with all the camping gear on the back. And the other thing to consider, I've made the mistake of chucking on the black visor, which has been great first thing this morning because the sun's been quite low, obviously moving into autumn. But when you get into scenery like this, it's quite tricky because it tends to be a little bit too dark. But hey ho, and this time I actually remember to bring my clear visor, so I can always change it. I could ride with the visor up and drop down the tinted sunnies that are integrated into the helmet, but then you'd cop quite a lot of wind noise and it wouldn't work well for the audio. I just wanted to give a thanks, a shout out and a huge thanks, let's call it, to people that have been following the channel. You know, I've only had it running since October when I bought the bike, so October 2020, and already I'm getting a decent sort of following. Not huge. I've actually had my first video went over 1,000 views last night, which was awesome. I felt fantastic about that. But obviously I'm doing the right thing, or I think I am, in terms of commentary and you know, the interest in the videos. But I have to say, the channel would not grow at all without the support of you know, of followers and friends. So I really do thank you for that. I've got a couple of mates that live out in the UK that have been following me as well, which is awesome. And I actually sent them out a Boomerang biker t-shirt which has got the logo on. If you're interested in one of those and you're happy to promote my channel, then send me a message or leave me a message in the comments, and I'll send you one. You know, maybe you can cover the postage, and you can have a free t-shirt, and I'll stick a sticker in there. I'll put a sticker in there. But the promise is, the agreement is that if you're going out on your bike, you must wear the t-shirt and you must put the sticker on your bike, and you must publicize my channel, or say good things about me at least, you know. But if you're up for a t-shirt, drop me a line. More than happy to sort that out. There's no charge. As I said, we'll just cover the postage. I believe it or not, to send a t-shirt to the UK from Australia, which I did recently for a couple of friends, was actually $25, which is more than the t-shirt cost to manufacture, which is, you know, pretty disgraceful. Oh, here we go. Got a couple of guys working on the road. Come on guys, turn that side. Typical road workers, they're not sort of overdoing it. Off we go. Go on you mate. So off we go. Really is magnificent through here, and it is whoa, what's going on there? Okay, it is I'm going to use a big word here because I used one in my last video. I'm going to use reminiscent. So it is reminiscent of the Black Spur. In my last video I used the word synonymous. I only used it once, but then I sort of forgot how to say it, and I ended up saying synopsis. Alright guys, that's enough waffle from me. The Ada tree, or Ada tree, is actually quite a famous tree. It's reputedly, see I can't say reputedly now, it's reputedly one of the oldest and biggest trees in Australia. So you actually drive in and then there's a small car park, and thanks mate, small car park, and there's a bit of a walk, and you walk to the Ada tree, and it kind of, if you've been to America, it kind of reminds me of one of those big redwood trees that you see out in America. The difference being here in Australia, you don't actually have to pay to walk up to a tree. You know, we went to San Francisco a few years back, and we went to it's called Muir Woods. We had to pay to go and look at a tree, so go figure. So I'm hoping that the new camera position will give a much more panoramic view. I do have quite a lot of requests to put together a video on how to set up your helmet for moto vlogging, so audio and video. And it's surprising, I get a lot of, you know, bikers that will come up to me when I'm sort of getting on the bike and I'm setting up the camera. It's surprising how many say that, oh, I've got a GoPro or something similar and I've had it for a couple of years and I just don't know what to do with it. Some of them have mounted them on the bikes, maybe on the handlebars or on the mirror here, but they've done nothing else with it, and they say, oh look, I keep you know, I keep the footage on a computer, and it's just them that look at it. So what I'm thinking I'll do is, you know, I don't do this for a living. This is just a hobby, biking and YouTubing. So I've got no issues about, you know, hanging on to the knowledge so nobody competes. I'll let you into a couple of secrets. So first off, I'm using a GoPro. It's a Hero 7. That's right, it's a Hero 7. But you also need an external mic adapter. Now somewhere I'm going to put up a link here, and at some stage I will do a video of how to set up your helmet, how to set up your mic inside the helmet, what sort of a mic adapter you're going to need, what sort of a mic. And then we'll also talk about editing, because editing's the real time consuming bit of it. You know, for you guys, you just see the end result and you see, you know, video you know, splicing between one view and another view. You don't actually see the hours that go into sitting down and trying to work out what's going to make entertaining watching. And also the bits where I've been sort of waffling on a little bit too much, and you know, we need to cut some of that out. So for editing, I actually use an Adobe product called Adobe Premiere, but it isn't very cheap. You know, I think you buy it on a subscription, and unless you're a sort of a student, which I obviously can't get away with, unless you're a student, you're looking at about $50 a month. You know, which, you know, perhaps doesn't seem a lot when you break it down into weeks. But if you're an amateur, as I am, then, you know, it's quite a big overhead. But it is definitely by far the industry preferred software solution for editing, and it's a system or a software package that my son, who's in digital media, uses and has taught me how to use. So going back to the 3-day trip itinerary, as I mentioned at the start, we started up in Whittlesea and we're going across the back roads through Noojee, and we're ending up at a small town called Bruthen. I've had some great suggestions of putting up a map, so I'm going to do that. I'll show a map there of the route down to Bruthen. As I said, it's a small town. We booked into a very small campsite, and there's a pub away about just over the road, say less than 5-minute walk. So we'll camp tonight, we'll go into the pub and we'll get our food in there. If you're thinking of coming through this way, I've had quite a few recommendations for Bruthen campsite. It cost us the princely sum of $15 for the 2 bikes. So for 2 tents, 2 bikes to camp there overnight on an unpowered site. But what they do have is a communal outdoor sort of kitchen or covered kitchen area that has a fire pit, and it actually has GPOs or power outlets, so you can plug in your devices and charge them. I'll actually do a little bit of filming around there. We'll show you the campsite, our tent set up, and if we remember, we'll actually film a little bit in the pub as well and throw that in the mix. So signposted there for Noojee. I think Noojee's an indigenous word, an aborigine word, an aborigine indigenous. So that's day 1. So day 2 of the ride to the Great Alpine region, we'll start off at the morning and from Bruthen obviously, and we head up over the on the B500, which takes you to high altitude into the ski areas, ski resorts, and the main one is Mount Hotham. Again, I will put a map up when we do day 2. Not a lot of people from overseas actually realise that we have ski resorts in Australia. Tend to be in the mountain regions of just New South Wales and Victoria. And those tend to be, there's a few different ones. You've got Thredbo, which is in New South Wales, Mount Thredbo I believe it is. Mount Hotham and Mount Buller are the big ones. They're full-on ski resorts like you'd get in the French Alps. They've got you know, chalets and ski lifts and the whole thing that goes with skiing. We'll stop and take some photographs and a little bit of footage when we get up through there. So that'll be day 2. Day 3 we will be setting off from a town, a little bit bigger town called Myrtleford. From Myrtleford we will drop down through Mansfield. Through Mansfield we will head down through a place called Bonnie-Doon and through Lake Healesville, which is a massive lake. From Bonnie-Doon we'll be dropping down through I believe it is York, through Yea, Flowerdale, and then finally back down into Whittlesea. So we're hanging a left to Noojee and Mount Bawbaw, which is actually really popular with four-wheel drivers, let's say, and people camping and a lot of hunting and whatnot. Oop. Okay, off we go. So 3 kilometers to Noojee. No traffic really to speak of. The reason for that is I've took a day off work, so it's Friday. So we're doing Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Now next weekend is actually Easter, so we thought we'd do it a week before, because come Easter, like anywhere in the world, the roads are packed with caravans and ski boats and you name it. It's just way too busy. So I always find that coming the week before Easter or the week after, it's you tend to get the place to yourself. Not that I'm antisocial at all, I just prefer the quieter roads and the quieter campsites. Okay, so we're coming up to the Trestle Bridge, which I mentioned earlier. Oh, it's on the right, not the left. Way, it's on the right. Sorry, my bad. Just watch the gravel there. All right, my friend. So we're going up the track to Noojee, and as you can see, first off, I'm hoping I won't stack it, because I am not used to doing this sort of thing. So I'm breathing heavy, and I made it. I was guaranteed I was going to drop it there. Anyway, there's Noojee Trestle Bridge. I'm breathing heavy now. Okay, so we'll turn the camera off and we'll take some photographs. Stick around for that. Cheers. Alright guys, well, as you would have seen on the video, I successfully made it up the track without stacking it. It was quite slippy, and even Peter, who's quite an experienced dirt bike rider, was surprised at how slippy that was. So let's try and get back down it without going over. He's going for the stand-up mode. Apologies if you're getting some wind noise. I just want to keep my visor up so it doesn't steam up. Yeah, it's a little bit tricky, I have to say, and you can see I lack the skills of dirt bike riding. Done plenty of four-wheel driving. It's usually best to stay in the ruts. I'm not sure for this. Let's just stay with it. The worst bit is if you get crossed up, so try and keep off the brakes. And if you think I'm riding like a total wimp, you're welcome to add that to the comments. So I'm happy that I made it down there without dropping it. And now as we hit the bitumen, I'll just have to remember that I've got mud on the tyres. So there you go, I'm happy that I made it down without putting the GS on its side, because it would have been a bit tricky there to lift it back up. So that was Noojee Bridge. As I said, it's the week before Easter. If we were there a week from now, it would be packed out. So there was only one or two people there. We took some great stills, which I'll drop in here. And now we are on our way to the next place is actually Noojee, so that's Noojee Trestle Bridge. It's a little bit early, it's well 12:30, but I had a big breakfast, so a little bit early for lunch. So we're going to head to Arica. There's a nice pub in the centre of Arica, and we'll get a feed there and have a little drink. So stay tuned. I'm so glad that I switched the camera on through here, because this is fantastic. I'm not sure if you saw that sign then, it said snow chain higher ahead. So there are quite a lot of roads in the alpine regions of Victoria that it is actually mandatory to carry snow chains in your car in the winter months, and that tends to be on the unsealed roads. What we don't have here in Australia is we don't put any salt and grit on the roads. It's just unheard of here, which you know, if you're up in an alpine region, it might be a bit tricky, but then again you've got your snow chains. But the great thing about that is our cars tend to last a lot longer. You know, out in Europe where the grit in the roads, that grit just eats away and corrodes the cars. You know, even you know, a car that's only a few years old will definitely have some signs of corrosion on it. Whee! I really hope you're getting the benefit of this video. Again, the footage through here is amazing. The roads are super tight corners. Awesome fern trees, if you can see the ferns to the right and the left. They only grow in sort of damp, darker areas in a sort of a rainforest. So as soon as you see fern trees, you know that it's going to be a bit colder and a bit damper. This is just a fantastic day. To think I could be at work now. Not that I've got anything against work, I love my colleagues, I've got a great job. I actually celebrated my 5-year anniversary working for the company, and I'm 55 next month, and I hope I'll be there until I retire. I really do like the company and the ethics, and this is not just a suck up to my boss and the board of directors. I do like my job. It's great. It's a stressful job, and I believe that any job that's worth doing is stressful. So I was just thinking the other day about my old ZZR 1100 Kawasaki, which is probably, no disrespect to my BM, but probably my favourite bike that I've ever had. And if anybody's out there in Australia and you've got a ZZR 1100 and it's in mint condition, then you drop me a comment, because I'm looking to buy one. I probably won't ride it that much. I'll just look after it and put it in my garage. But I'd really like to get my hands on one. So mine was a D2, second generation ZZR 1100, and it was predominantly black with red sort of stripes and graphics. I went all around Europe, or should I say myself and my wife went all around Europe on that bike, and we had so many good times. I'd really like to get another one. So if you've got one, or you know someone that's got one and they want to sell it, I'm your man. Well, if you're watching from overseas, perhaps the UK, you'll hopefully realise that it's much different than riding in the UK. You know, we're still on bitumen, or tarmac as you blokes call it, but it's not like riding to Devil's Bridge in the Lake District. You know, you've got the chance of meeting a logging truck coming through here, or actually coming across a log that's come down, a tree that's come down and is across the road, just like that. So you really got to be a bit careful. You can't get your knee down here, guys. Maybe you're shaking your head and you think you can, but it's not really sports bike territory. And believe me, the last thing you want to do is be on a corner and meet a massive Kenworth or Freightliner logging truck coming the other way, because you'll end up like roadkill on his bull bar. So it's these types of tight corners, very slow and can be quite slippy. Hopefully, if you are watching in the UK, this might inspire you to make a trip down under once COVID restrictions are lifted. We're starting to get international flights now from next week back into Melbourne, but not many. Not many. I think about 800 people a week for the time being. Now you can see what I'm talking about. It's quite damp there, and that's where the waterfall's actually running across the road. If it has inspired you to get out here, let me know. I'll sort out a hire bike for you and I'll show you around. There's a good example of what you can find in the middle of the road as you come round a blind corner.
I got a Nigerian fella that works for me.
Oh, he nearly overcooked it there. Is he coming back for a chat? I thought he was nipping down there.
So,
that's a nice bike.
yeah,
Come on, mate.
I said, watch where I'm going, not you. Yeah.
I thought you knew a different route down there, mate.
So you've been up the top of there before, have you?
Coming that way.
Nah, coming from...
We're going we're going down to Bruthen, stopping in Bruthen for the night, and then we're going to do you know, up to Omeo tomorrow.
Okay.
It's going to be wet and cold, but today's great. And then back through Mansfield down to Whittlesea that way on Sunday. What are you up to, mate?
Sorry?
What are you up to?
I just, well, I live in the Marine Peninsula. I just came up to see my friend in Jindervik, and I thought I'd come up and have a look at Mount Borbor.
Yeah, nice. That's a nice bike.
Yeah, I like your beamers too. I've still got an R1250 GS Adventure on.
Yeah?
Getting on a bit with it, yeah. I really liked it.
Yeah, that's cool, mate.
Well, Chris, anyway.
Sorry, what?
Chris.
Nick.
How you going, Nick?
I'll just turn this off. Right, let's see if this thing works. Well guys, if you're still along with me for the ride, we've just pulled over for a quick drink, a quick break, and met another biker who was kind enough to stop and say hi, and we're on our way again. So I've actually just added the Insta360 camera onto the mirror mount there, and it's the first time I've ever used it. It was I won't say donated, it was lent to me by my good friend Julio, and it'll be very, very interesting to see what the footage is like. So hopefully you'll be able to see that on the camera. It actually films in 360 degrees, and then you can either leave it like that or you can edit it to you know, focus in on a particular scene or item along the route. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So the guy we met who stopped to say hi is on a 790 KTM, I believe, and that was one cool bike. No doubt he'll catch us up in a few minutes and then zoom past and leave me for dead. But anyway, Chris, thanks for stopping. If you do happen to watch, look me up on the Boomerang Biker channel. Very nice to meet you, Matt. Now, I'm not sure if you can see on the footage, hopefully the 360 is picking this up. We're still in the rainforest area, and I daren't even look to my left. I'm just concentrating on these tight roads, but there is a massive drop off down there, so I just do not want to overcook it and end up going over there. Actually, you can see the road down to my left, so we've got some awesome tight switchbacks now. And thankfully they're well signposted to let you know just how tight they are. Ooh-wee. Yep, Chris has caught me up. Go on, mate. There he goes. Very agile bike, that. 790. It looks like he can get along a bit. And again, this is what you got to watch for. See the trees? And yeah, he's leaving me for dead there. Yep, he's completely disappeared now.